It's hard to believe that it's 30 years since Annie Lennox and Dave Stewart formed the Eurythmics, one of the most successful music partnerships of recent times. Hit song after hit song, sell-out world tours, critical acclaim, and then a period of relative silence when for several years Annie Lennox removed herself from the front line of fame to campaign on African health issues. But there have been a fair few top-selling solo albums, and the new one is a beautifully traditional one. We'll talk about that in a moment. Annie, welcome. I mentioned the African campaigning, particularly on HIV and AIDS in Africa, and you set up a rather unusual sort of charitable or voluntary organisation called SING. Just explain to us how that actually works.
Yes. Well, before the time that I established SING, the SING campaign, I had been working in the field of HIV and AIDS, doing various things, representing different organisations, 46664, for example, Nelson Mandela's campaign. And I felt a bit frustrated in the sense that I wanted to really get hands-on with it myself. And the right way to do that would be to set something up formally. And I'd never created a campaign before. And it's now 3 years old. It was 3 years old on World AIDS Day, which is the 1st of December. And ostensibly, it is basically, it's me, it's just myself and a very small group of people that are helping to support me. And I work in two ways. I am an advocate for the issue. And so it means that, for example, now that I am a UN AIDS ambassador, I can talk with Michel Sidibe, the director of UN AIDS, and be with him in a campaigning term. Or I can also work with other organisations such as Oxfam or various different people. So it's actually... yeah, go ahead.
So notoriously, of course, Thabo Mbeki was very, very bad on this issue. I mean, he pretended it didn't exist and all the rest.
That's right.
Has that been overcome, do you think, in Southern Africa now?
Yeah, well, that attitude definitely has been overcome. We had the Deputy President of South Africa at the International AIDS Congress this in Vienna in July of this year, making a statement to say that the South African government committed to doubling access to antiretroviral treatment and reducing the transmission of the virus. So that was a very, very public statement by the Deputy President. However, we have to be sure that those things are carried out. It's a huge challenge.
And similarly, were you heartened by the Pope's apparent change of heart on condoms?
Yes, I was heartened to hear some sense coming out of from the Pope, because up to that point, what he was saying made absolutely no sense whatsoever. And now I can see that there's a turnaround, there's a turn of the messaging coming out. He's taken step by step, we're starting to see something more sensible coming from.
And the money from your Christmas single will go to this campaign?
It will go to the SING campaign, yes, absolutely.
Let me talk about the new songs, because they're carols, which is, in a sense, a big surprise, going back to stuff that you were singing a long time ago.
That's right.
When you were that high?
I was about that high, 6 or 7 years old, singing in a local choir in Aberdeen, learning some wonderful songs. And actually, you know, because I'm going to be 56 on Christmas Day, Andrew.
You're a Christmas baby,
Christmas baby. You seem to be quite appropriate. But, you know, it's interesting. I sang these carols as a child. And as you do with carols when you're a child, you sing by rote. You don't fully appreciate what the real message behind anything. And as an adult, obviously, you've had life experience. And in my experience as a campaigner and someone who I've been, you know, in the field, seeing the most vulnerable children and, you know, child-headed households, and so the issue of children and children's rights and the protection of children and human rights is something that I feel very passionately about. And looking at the thread of the narrative of the Nativity, I found that very interesting. In this day and age, where we still have almost medieval circumstances where children are brought into sex trade, abuse,
and this is the kind of thing that Christ would have been interested in.
Well, the message of the Christian Church, and in fact, all religious organisations should be very, very simple. It should be about love and compassion and respect and tolerance. And what you see in this world, this crazy world that we live in, is so much dissent and so many wars that are actually started by so-called religious organisations. So I felt it would be nice to take some of that feeling of that sensibility and, in a way, slightly subvert it into the carols that I'm singing now.
Well, we're going to hear one of them later on.
Great.
Looking forward to it very, very much indeed.
Thank you.
Annie Lennox, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
As promised, it's Annie Lennox with her take on a very familiar and appropriately festive song, God Rest Ye, Merry Gentlemen.
man, let me